Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to read the new book for loan officers titled Loan Officer Freedom by author Carl Wise.
Well, that was a pretty cool little commercial you had there, Carl.
Well, I just want to thank you for helping me pull that off. So, dude, who doesn't like Bruce Buffer, right?
Right?
I mean,
That's really cool that you get that done. Also, guys, that banner is right down below, so click it and Carl will help you out. And
yeah.
But Carl's going to help you out again today, too. Carl, I'm just going to dive right into this. Couple stories. We have our Listing Booster product, and we have a premium service, and we help people, right? We do all the work and, generate the leads. And we even, have callers that call the leads and then hand them off to the originator, the real estate agent. So we had two quick stories, and I just want to get your thoughts on it. And I want all of you guys watching to just kind of pay attention to this and give us your thoughts on this too, because this is what happened. So one of the cases was we generated, a nice amount of leads for a particular originator. And we went through our call process to call these leads and figure out who really wants to talk. We got like 5 of them handed over in a couple of weeks time or, a week or something like that. And in following up, the originator was like, how did we do there? How'd you do with those? And, this originator was kind of like, well, it's not really working. And I'm like, okay, we're like, well, what's the details? And well, one of them I got, one of them, it looks like I'm going to get an app done. And first of all, for me, even one is like, hey, there's probably $5,000, or probably more, who knows these days. These loan officers these days make a lot more money than I was making, I tell you that. But so that's a lot of money, number one. But then when we asked about the other 4, we said, what are the other 4? And he said, well, nobody answered or whatever. And we said, okay, well, are you following up? And he goes, I will, I haven't gotten to it yet, but I made that. So basically, the originator made a call and one answered and that one got moving. The other 4, one call was made. I don't know if any other calls got made beyond that. Right. And then the other instance was we had, generated leads, right, for a team, a loan officer and realtors. This one guy that we spoke to of the leads, we got him on the phone and he goes, yeah, this is no lie. He goes, I got to get going right away. I got to, as soon as possible, I got to buy a home. I'm looking at $500,000. I'm putting $100,000 down, not working with any particular realtor right now. Can you have your real estate agent call me after 4:00 today? So we're all like, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is a good one, So then, we call the real estate agent. We're super stoked. And we relay the information. The real estate agent said, well, I can't really do that. Can you call them back and say, I'll do my best to call them tomorrow? And we were like, okay, no, you can call them, which is what we recommend. But just a kind of a shocking response. And so my question to you is like, is this the new normal? Is this
all right? So your question
is the new normal? Is it? You get what I'm saying? Like, is this like when you have people that have said, yeah, call me, and then you just make one call? Because when I was doing this, dude, it was like, no, man, it's like 10, 15 calls. You got to do this, but is just not the new way, or? So
the question is, why do people not do the activity that brings in more loans when they know exactly what it is? And in your case, with a cool product like Listing Booster, man, it's laid out in front of them. Like you already caught the fish and you put it on their plate. All they got to do is open their mouth and,
right.
So why don't people follow up on those leads? I tell you why I think is they actually don't want any more deals or any more loans, because what they're doing is there's 2 parts of what we do. There's a part of things that we do that's, I call it in our superpower, stuff that we really like doing in the business. And then there's another much larger portion of activities that we do that we don't like doing. And what happens is if we're the ones that's doing all those activities that we don't like doing, we get fried, we get burned out. We get that, hey, all you got to do is call this lead and they're going to list a house with you. Can you have them talk to me tomorrow? Because I'm fried right now because I've been doing all this stuff that I don't like doing because I think it's a necessary part of closing another real estate deal or closing another loan. And it might be a necessary part, but not by you. And I think we have to guard ourselves with a big, huge fence of only working on that part of the business that you like doing, that feeds you, so that you go, gee, I want to do more of that. I want to do more of that, instead of doing the most of the parts that we don't enjoy doing, which is like putting bamboo shoots under our fingernails. And it's like, well, dude, I'm going to give you another deal. Yeah, but some bamboo shoots come with that. Get rid of the bamboo shoots. Does that make sense?
It does, and I hope that's truly what it is. You would know, because if that's the case, if it's just because, as an originator or a real estate agent, the reason I'm not returning these calls or calling 5 or 10 times on a lead who said, call me, right? Or the other realtor in her case saying, I'll get to it tomorrow, right? Yeah. I hope that it is just that there's just so much busy, like you kind of call it crap work, that's like not the enjoyable stuff that they feel that they have to take care of, that's bogging down. Because if it is that indeed, well, that's a correctable item, right?
It is correctable
that's
item.
Something that could be corrected. What I hope it's not is, like, you remember in the old days, Carl, I don't know if it still goes on today, but in the old days, the old days, they're not that long ago, but a lot of the coaching and real estate and lending is, well, you're like a doctor, and you don't walk into a doctor's office and just say, help me now. You have to go through protocols and receptions and appointments, and you need to treat yourself like that. And, and okay, I don't want to belittle that either, because I do understand you got to regulate your time. I know that, but when you got a guy saying, call me, I need to go right now, call me at 4, 100 grand down, $500,000 deal, and I do need some help not working with a realtor. I mean, like, I'm killing people and walking over their dead bodies to get to the phone to go, hi, how can I help you out? I mean, that's just what I would think it would be. But
so I don't think it's,
I don't know. How do you correct it? If it is just all the other stuff is holding me back, how do you correct it?
So I tell you how you correct it, Frank. What you do is you make a list. Like, first you have to identify, and this takes like 30 seconds. First, you have to identify, what is your superpower? Like, what is that part in your business that you're really, really good at, and it just feeds you? And figure out what that part is. And then everything else is what I call, as you said a few minutes ago, crappy work. So there's the superpower stuff, and then there's the crappy stuff.
Give me an example of superpower work for an LO.
Superpower work for an LO is making the phone ring, is going out and making relationships and getting people to want to refer to you because they trust you, and they trust that you and your team will get the job done. Chasing the bank statements, chasing meeting the home inspector is not what is likely in a top producer's superpower, right? That's the busy work. And so what we have to do is just focus on that thing that brought that loan in or brought that listing in to begin with. Focus on that activity, which normally is what we consider the fun part, which our team would consider, I hate doing that part, right? And so when we focus on the fun part, the part that makes the phone ring, the part that we enjoy, and don't get bogged down in all the bamboo shoot stuff like chasing pay stubs and bank statements and putting out fires in our business. When we do just that activity,
real estate agent going to the inspections, my wife did that, is doing that tomorrow, going out to an inspection at once. She's gonna sit around there for 2.5 hours.
I guarantee she didn't get that listing and went, oh boy, I get to go to a home inspection now. Right? And so you stay away from that part. So if I can do a shameless plug in my book, that Bruce Buffer was kind enough to do that little fun thing for us.
Right.
Where it talks about freedom, which is the freedom to do that part that you really enjoy. And, so you have to look at, like, what do you do versus what does your team do? On the loan process, as soon as the phone ring, like, who does what? And having a very structured layout of who does what, and only doing those parts that you enjoy doing, it is possible to do that. Because when you're only doing the cool parts, there is no limit to how many loans you'll do or how many listings you'll take, because you're only doing the fun part, none of the stuff that burns us and wears us out. So it's like, I don't even want to look at another phone. I don't even want to look at another deal right now. I'm fried. It's because we're doing the things that we don't enjoy, and you have to farm that stuff out.
That's awesome. So again, the banner is right on your screen, guys. It's right below this video. So click it and you can you can get that book where, Carl, you've got it all laid out, soup to nuts, right? Start to finish, how to set up the team, how to figure out who does what and all that. Because like I said, before we shot the show, I don't, and I, please believe me, everyone who's watching, I'm not trying to really belittle the loan officer who got the 5 and only got 1, and not at all, or the realtor, because I know, man, there's bigger stuff at play here that are going on in those lives than I'm aware of. It's easy for me to sit back here and brush stroke this and go, oh, come on, it's easy to do that, and I don't want to do that, and I'm not trying to do that. I
don't think anybody's taking that.
I apologize for even coming across that way if I did, but I'm just a little frustrated because, when things like this appear as a salesperson, when you get like a name and a number of somebody who said, yes, call me, you know what I mean? That's a big deal to me. I mean, that's a good one. Even if they don't pick up the first time or whatever, that's something that I would focus on. Like, hey man, you asked for this,
unless every time you get a deal, you also get beat with a stick. Then you don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. That's the thing here, Frank, is like with the listing booster, dude, that is an awesome service where you get deals just laid out for you, like done for you. It's wonderful program. Yeah. And if the loan officers, once they get that lead from your service, or once the real estate agents get that lead from that service of listing booster, if you have it so you get only the good stuff, just the carrot and none of the stick, the bad stuff you don't enjoy doing, dude, that totally solves a problem. And that's where I just got a text just a little bit ago from a loan officer, Tammy Saul. She's literally she closed over 100 loans the month of November, and she's the loan officer. That's not a team of 15 loan officers. She's it. Literally 100 loans, but I promise you, all Tammy does is the stuff that she loves doing and none of the bad stuff. So it gets remarkable.
I guess my takeaway from this can be done. It is a reality. It is possible. You can set yourself up to be in a position like that loan officer. It can be done.
Oh, for sure.
You got to have the blueprint to figure it out. And then you got to painstakingly take those steps to get those things set up and apply those things, but it can be done. I mean,
for sure. And then when you combine the loan flow or the real estate flow with something like Listing Booster, where it produces leads for you, man, it's like the Reese's peanut butter cup, man. It's chocolate and peanut butter put together. So awesome service, man. Right back at you.
Okay, well, good enough. So, for any of you guys that are watching that feel like you're there, like, you're just basically, I'm just going to call it like you just don't feel like, you can get to the superpower stuff because you got all the other stuff holding you back or what have you. Check out Carl's book. Again, banner on the screen right down below. Click it. The blueprint's laid out there. And I just want everybody to know too, like when we started talking about early this morning, this wasn't like, I got a great plan to get this book out. It wasn't that at all. It was Carl and I hadn't had a physical conversation in a little while. I gave him a call and I was like, dude, I got to run something by you. I mean, this is just frustrating me because I feel like I feel like we're doing such a good job, and yet it's being delivered to these to individuals who have something going on, that's prohibiting them from capitalizing on the effort that we do. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what is the issue? And this is, and then you said, I know what it is, and this is what it is, and so that's why we're here today.
Yeah, they're doing stuff that's not in their unique ability, that bogs them down. It's kind of like barnacles on a boat. Yeah. It slows the boat down. You got to go out there and scrape off the barnacles every now and then. So appreciate you, brother. Good stuff.
Well, and again, man.
I'm right back at you. The Listing Booster, man, it just makes a good 1-2 punch, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just hope everybody watching. Thank you for that, Carl. And I hope everybody watching. I hope this show makes sense. And I'd love to get your feedback on it. I mean, how are you guys handling it? So in the comments section or direct message us or whatever you want to do. Just curious to see if you're in the same boat as those other individuals, or if you are elevated somehow past that and how that's working for you. And then for the rest of you, if you feel like you're kind of in need of some help in this area, just click the link and get Carl's book.
All right, I appreciate it. And keep in mind, when we get fried, it's never because we're overworked. We're only underhelped. We're not overworked. We're underhelped. So, all right. Thanks for having me on, Frank.
Hey, thank you, Carl, so much. You guys do us a favor, forward, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, get our mobile app by doing this.
Download the National Real Estate Post mobile app today. Available on Apple Store and Google Play. Just search National Real Estate Post.